What's up guys, it's Punchy, and I'm back with another Deepwoken build inspired by one of my favorite shows. This time, I'm returning to my roots and recreating the best girl from Fire Force in Deepwoken. I've made a couple of these Fire Force builds, and this one is going to be the third. As always, heads up because there will be spoilers up to the current Fire Force anime. Today, I'll be recreating the compassionate backbone of Special Company 8, the wonderful witch Maki Oze. Ever since its creation, Maki has been a key player within Company 8. On the outside, her family views her as helpless or even weak, but she's quite the opposite. In the past, Maki's position in the Tokyo Army shaped her into a stoic and dedicated soldier, but on the inside she really doesn't want to hurt anybody else. That being said, Maki's fighting ability and ruthless tactics shine when she protects her friends and family. To be honest, Maki is one of the most athletic heroes of Company 8 and led Shinra's initial training. Many times she's proven to be physically tough and resilient in the face of danger. Of course, she can throw hands, but Maki's got even more at her disposal. Her mastery as a second generation pyrokinetic allows her to extinguish, manipulate, and transform the flame of others. Many of her techniques are creative and versatile, but she cannot produce flames herself. In combat, Maki combines her athleticism and pyrokinetic abilities to defeat anybody in her way. No matter what happens, she'll fight until she can't anymore. And that concludes my TED Talk about how Maki Oze is best girl. I wanted to use a lot of new Layer 2 additions for this character, but comment down below how you would do it yourself. Above all, appearance matters most, so let's start with that. I chose Khan to recreate Maki because of her dark brown hair and pink eyes. To represent the Fire Force uniform, I made use of the Pathfinder Elite with a neon blue dye. In the show, everybody has a glowing coat, and this was the perfect fit. Maki's specific outfit is known for her witch hat. I don't know if it actually helps her, but it does look cool. Maki's witch uniform is finally complete with a dyed Sandrunner scarf, a 10-gallon bandana, and finally topped off with the yellow alchemist hat. I'm not gonna lie, it looks really good, and Maki herself will be proud. On this character, I'm using a Blazing Light's final toll to stand in for Maki's iron owls. Whenever she can, Maki transforms fire into these floating orbs, which have names and personalities of their own. Eventually, these orbs pilot rocket jets called iron owls that slam around tanky foes. With this in mind, I chose the Blazing Light's final toll. I mean, it's a floating lantern that's powered by fire, so why not? As a result, Maki's final stats are 90 strength, 35 fortitude, 2 agility, 80 flame charm, 20 thunder call, and the rest in willpower. Throughout this build, my stats did not change, so it's exactly what you see here. Let's get into the abilities. As I mentioned earlier, Maki is torn between her military position and her family at Company 8. She's a soldier, and she demonstrates that frequently. Many times in the series, Maki uses her military training to disarm, disorient, and ultimately defeat her opponent. Therefore, rapid punches show off her strength and unrelenting determination. Perfect for combo starting and dealing more damage, this mantra will always be viable. Our bell windup is another example of her military training. Hitting hard and knocking the enemy away works great on this character. Additionally, Maki shuts down her fire-wielding opponents by extinguishing their flames. As a Generation 2 pyrokinetic, she can negate and ultimately counter most fire abilities. For this reason, Exhaustion Strike was our extinguishing tool. It's a quick strike that block breaks, and it even sounds like a fire going out. Many times in the series, Maki will transform and condense flame into a concentrated area. After that, she redirects that heat into a fiery blast away from her team. This time, I picked up Arc Warder's Arc Blast. For this character, I won't use the suit, but Arc Blast's insanely low cooldown and huge hitbox are fantastic in any situation. Let's get back to our weapons. Maki's flame orbs, flare, and sputter each pilot a giant piece of metal which hits like a truck. Their ultimate attack is the Iron Owl Rush, where they slam a target from both sides. To complement our dynamic playstyle, Flame Assault represents this devastating rush. The ragdoll from this mantra and insanely quick startup kept this option available mid-combo. It's even better in Layer 2's combat, and I recommend it. For some reason, Maki is always doubting her flame abilities. Despite controlling huge amounts of fire, Maki knows she cannot summon flame herself. Regardless, her high-scale pyrokinesis is unrivaled. Accordingly, I chose Fire Palm to show off our flame control and deal some damage. I use this at range when players don't expect it. Now, the next ability is a little bit weird. Earlier, I mentioned some of Maki's orbs, which all have names and personalities, but the largest fireball she can make is called Boba Boba Bo Boba Bo. You know, it's whatever, right? It's literally what she says. I mean, listen. Anyway, our giant fireball friend was recreated with flame repulsion. Sending enemies away and reflecting their damage was the key use of this mantra. Maki's power is highlighted as she absorbs and converts a flaming city into something known as a firestorm. They use this firestorm like a barrel of a gun to defeat a demonic enemy. The Witch of Company 8 comes forth and saves everybody from this cataclysmic event, and I think it's the best scene that she's in. Another Arc Warder ability, Arc Wave, is the move. The stunning potential and huge hitbox resemble that of a storm, and it's great for TPing in and interrupting players. Honestly, Arc Warder abilities are very good even without the suit. To end it off nicely, Flame and Sputter are the two little orbs that we always see. They don't really do anything except light people on fire, but without their iron owls, they just exist to be cute. Maki transforms fire into these guys, and she really does care about them. Flame Wisp works perfectly for Flare and Sputter, and the healing we receive is much like their motivation. I like to think that Flare is in our lantern dealing damage, and Sputter is the wisp that tells us what to do and heals us. That's all for Maki Oze, so take a look at my full talent list. Check out some fights with the Witch of Company 8. Thank you guys for watching, and I really enjoyed making this build. I love Fire Force, so expect more from that series later on. Tell me down below which character you want to see next. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, and have a good one.